Hey, it's Chris, and welcome to Palmetto, Atheus. This is a disclaimer that the content discussed in this podcast is not appropriate for immature audiences. When I was growing up, my mother was diagnosed as bipolar manic depressive. I was curious why mom was crazy. I began studying psychology, which included abnormal or deviant behavior. I learned that my mother's brain used the various chemicals in different ways than the majority of humans. This was called a chemical imbalance. These symptoms included her being sleepy one day while energetic another, as well as shifts in her mood from sad to angry, happy, and melancholy. Because she couldn't control them, she was put on medication. I asked her why she had to take medicine to function. She explained that she would get stuck in her own head and would do things that she didn't mean to do. She physically abused my siblings and I, and would apologize later for her actions. Another indication of her mental illness was when she told me about her childhood. My mother was raped at age 8, and when she started showing signs of trauma, she was told that she was possessed by demons and that she needed to go to church and pray. I couldn't understand where any excuse for these violent acts would exist, and I dove into the scriptures to prove that it didn't have anything allowing such vile deeds. Unfortunately, verses like Deuteronomy 28:20, 28:28, Jeremiah 10:19, Matthew 11:18, and 2 Thessalonians 2:11 confirm that Yahweh gives humans insanity, and Jesus, as in Matthew 4:24, is the only one who can properly heal this condition. Just the mere idea that the Father and Son are the poison and the remedy was very alarming to me. I witnessed the aftermath of an event that, according to the believers of the scriptures, was caused by the deity that they worshipped, as is evident in Isaiah 45:7. I found many references to the unequal treatment of both children and women in comparison to men. Modern apologists excuse the disgusting verses in many ways. Some call them parables, analogies, or metaphors, and the scriptures aren't always clear about which verses are literal or not. This should be more concerning for theists than it currently seems, as it's specific in some areas and not in others. Without directly saying to specifically molest or rape young girls and women, the scriptures allow for and command the subjugation of children and women. My home state of South Carolina has the highest number of women killed by men in the nation, and also has a large religious population, mostly Abrahamic. This is partly how I became an atheist, as I couldn't rationalize the terrible morals expressed in the scriptures surrounding this issue. It also surprised me to find that the Holy Bible doesn't specify any age for girls to marry. Even the parable in Ezekiel 16 about Israel referred to in a feminine sense only mentions a covenant after coming of age with fine ornaments or breasts. For girls, puberty starts around age 11. However, it can start as early as age 6. And the Quran mentions that Aisha was 9 years old when she and Muhammad consummated. Despite modern secular laws allowing for punishment of sex acts with minors, some apologists claim religious discrimination when the scriptures allow for such actions. From a psychological perspective, the traumatic damage committed during rape or any molestation of anybody, regardless of age, gender, or sex, in my opinion, is inexcusable and should not just be punished. The victims should be helped and treated for their suffering. In some cases, this may even include the one who committed the crime. I will leave some of the biblical verses in the description for discussion. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you later. Atheus.
On the bonny banks, on the bonny, bonny banks, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch